We believe in building strong community partnerships.
The Social Planning Council deals with the issues that are of concern to me and the community.
We take on the challenges of bringing people, organizations, and government together.
We help bring together concerned citizens, community organizations to address issues in a meaningful way.
More movement is for all Canadians. There is no right for some.
Economic and social conditions for many Winnipeggers are not providing the opportunities they need for living healthy and fulfilling lives. Poverty, inadequate housing, limited job opportunities are all creating huge barriers for individuals, their families, and now our communities. The Social Planning Council of Winnipeg is working on behalf of all Winnipeggers to create a community that is caring, just, and equitable. Our job is to find the solutions for the social problems that we're facing today. Our job is to help the public understand, and then find the resources, and then organize the people who can address these social issues.
One of the most significant things that the Social Planning Council of Winnipeg does is bring together diverse organizations to work in common cause. We've been working with community-based agencies to improve the social assistance policy in Manitoba for decades, and we've had some success. There were 12 organizations in 2008 that filed a complaint to the Manitoba Ombudsman about the rates and the challenges with the Employment Income Assistance Program in Manitoba. In 2010, a report was released that had 68 recommendations about how to improve the life on welfare for thousands of Manitobans. Our goal now is to make sure that all of those recommendations are implemented. In particular, the recommendations about setting the rates for employment income assistance. The Employment Income Assistance Program is inadequate, and people are living on less than half of what the low-income measure is, or the poverty line. So improving how rates are set, to making sure they consider the cost of living increases, to make sure the rate setting of EIA is more transparent and accountable, are all things that the Ombudsman has recommended and is what we want to see happen for Manitoba.
We're a community development organization. We work with different community groups, with activists, with coalitions, with networks, with people who work on the front lines, with people who are experiencing poverty. And they often come to us and say, this is happening, we know it's happening. We either have evidence that we need you to put together in a way that makes sense for people, or we need evidence so that we can show people what is happening. If you look throughout the history of the Social Planning Council, if you look at a timeline of everything we've accomplished, usually the way things start is with a community forum or a community summit or some sort of big event where we talk about a particular issue. And then it follows with a report, some analysis on what's happening, and then we have a coalition or a network or something that starts to take action on what we know is happening. So we don't just do traditional research and we don't just do action. We make sure that everything is linked and that we follow through until a solution is actually arrived at. One example of this is around homelessness. Last year we did a report called A Place to Call Home, and it was a report card on homelessness. And as we were putting together the information of what we already had available on homelessness, we were approached by some of the people who work at women's centers, and they said, you know, there's been some changes in the way the government is starting to define homelessness, and we need to make sure that the women that we know are out on the street that don't have a place to call home, that they're counted, that they're tracked. So we had some focus groups with women. We asked them, what are your experiences? Where are you staying? And then we included that in our report, which also included the numbers and the information that is readily available. And then we put it together in a report that can then be used by the women's centers, by emergency shelters, and by other organizations who are going to funders, going to government, going out in the public and educating people about what's happening around homelessness in our city.
For almost 100 years, the Social Planning Council has been involved in helping people cope with poverty, but we know that is not enough. We have to be involved in addressing the underlying causes of poverty and discrimination. When we understand what's going on in our community, when we collaborate and find the resources and take on the actions that are needed, we can make a difference. We can make a huge difference in the lives of thousands of people in Winnipeg. We encourage everyone to get informed and then engaged in the social change that's taking place in Winnipeg. Do what you can, wherever you can. Help us make Winnipeg the kind of community that is caring, just, and equitable.